I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I just did a video that you should ignore the crowd, ignore the noise around you. There's so much noise around me today, and I can't wait till the night before I record. Aisha Yusufu, anytime she wanted to make a video, there was her neighbor's dog that was always barking. You can't stop a dog from barking. The dog does not know you are recording. These guys, they just ignore them. Listen to the content. Listen to the message. I want us to have a debate online because of this message. But please reason well before you contribute. Don't come here to start insulting husbands or insulting wives or insulting nationalities. No, try and think well before you respond. I want to generate a debate concerning the issues of marriage in the diaspora and the throwing away of men out of their homes, and sometimes the men killing women, particularly among English-speaking Africans in the diaspora. I did a post earlier on. I had talked to the men, then I appealed to the women. And then one of our sisters made a comment that Asian and Arab women don't work, and that their husbands meet their needs, and so they can do domestic work. But there are some key questions I want to ask, and your comments should center around these issues, because like that intelligent question the woman raised, it has provoked thoughts in my mind that is leading to this debate that we'll have. I would have loved to go online, but several of you are either at work or different continents at different time zones. So I want to leave this here so that you can contribute, and then I will learn and you will learn. Why am I disturbed? My 3 sons are in Europe, and they are most likely going to marry Europeans. If they marry an African, if any of the remaining 2 marry an African, fine, but they are most likely going to marry Europeans. One is already married to a European. But let's look at these issues concerning Africans and their fellow Africans. The first video I shared, somebody shared it, and he got a response from one of our black brothers there, whose wife just threw him out of the house the next day. Now, the questions I want to ask, I just want to learn, and also people want to learn. Is it true that Asian and Arab women don't work in Europe and America? Is that really true? Because during COVID-19, I saw several Indian, Pakistani, different professionals from the Asia that were doctors, that were immunologists, that were clinical pharmacologists, that were epidemiologists, who are nurses, care workers, that were being interviewed on international news media. Is it really true that Asian women don't work or Arab women don't work? I've seen people in conservative countries, even like Saudi Arabia and others. Some of them are pilots. Women, some of them are different things. In Dubai, some of them are CEOs of companies. Is it really true that Arab and Asian women don't work? The next question I want to ask, is it really true that Arab men care for all their needs? Arab and Asian men care for all the needs of their wives. That's why there is no contention for domestic chores and money and the quarrel and the expulsion of the man from the household. If this is true, How come an Arab man that most likely is polygamous because they are allowed to marry up to 4 wives and their families are usually larger than the average African and Nigerian family? How come he is able to take care of the needs of his wife, his family, that the wife does not need to work? How come? Because you live in the same country, and most likely you, the Nigerian and the other African, is more educated than them. How come that they are able to live sometimes even together? So you have Chinatown, you have Arab communities, you have Jewish communities. How come they are able to live peacefully, more peacefully than the African and Nigerian families? How come? How are they able to get more funds? Is it possible? These are questions I want us to answer, and please stick to these questions. If you make any lousy comment, I'll just delete it. Stick to this thing. We want to learn. This is not an entertainment group. It's for people with brains. Now, could it be that these Arabs and Asians, when they come with an entrepreneurial mindset, and they set up small businesses in street corners, and with time their wives and their children and the whole family gets involved in the business, and then the business grows, and that with time you see these people buying buildings, and so because the whole family is involved, the whole family generates the wealth, and because they don't come to the United States or Europe with this our job mentality from Africa. Is it possible that they have more money generated and distributed or jointly owned by the families? So there's the likelihood that the wife might just provide the traditional role, the primary traditional role of a wife in creation is to provide a warm embrace for the husband, so that when he comes from his struggles, he will have a comfortable home to come back to. But we Africans, when we go to Europe and America, we are going there to do jobs. So the woman is working, the man is working, and then they both come back stressed. Now, I want to also ask another question. Is it possible that these Indians, Asians, Arabs are more frugal than Africans, Nigerians in Europe who work for paycheck? Are they more frugal? If they are more frugal and less flamboyant and more philosophical towards management of finances, is it possible that they have more income at home so that they can invest and take care of their needs? These are questions I want to ask. But let me ask another question. I grew up knowing our mothers. They will go to farm, they will fetch firewood, they will fetch water. In some areas, to get water, they need to trek long distances. They will carry babies on their backs. To give pounded yam to a man in Africa, the effort that goes into pounding the yam, to wash clothes in some countries, I think, was it in Sierra Leone I saw that, or Ghana, they use the cloths to stone by the riverside or wood. Is it possible that our mothers worked harder than present day women, and that the resilience of present day women is not as like that of our our mothers, and they were still able to meet domestic needs at home without involving our fathers? Is it also true that the African man that has gone to Europe still carries his African mentality there without adjusting to the new environment and the new rules that obtain there and the cultural values that those people have, where men can assist in doing domestic chores. I have washed clothes in this house. In fact, I wash my clothes. Thank God for washing machine. There was a pastor that was coming to report the wife to me. Years back, I didn't have washing machine. And he met me hanging clothes. And he turned back. He told another story, then went back. It was maybe 10 years later that he told me he came to report his wife to me. And he met me washing clothes. I've washed dishes here. I've washed my wife's clothes when she had an accident, had a fracture. So for me, I don't know how to cook. If I cook, it's like a chemical reaction. You eat it at your own risk. I eat it and does me nothing because I prepared it. So these are questions I will want us to answer. And then we will learn. Can this situation be remedied? What ways do we need to handle them? Please, I condemn domestic violence. Don't touch your wife. Number 2, don't kill your wife. Number 3, I hate adultery. I hate adultery. From woman, from man. Let's have a discussion. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. If you want to send me a private message, you can send me a message on +234 7052136763. Please let your comments be civil. You can always know somebody's mindset and attitude from the way they comment. God bless you.